this was the place where this all had happened, in this kunj. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote this story of Svapana Vilas, where he explains the pastimes of a dream. Prabhupada once said that when you have a dream about something, usually it's meaningless, nonsense. You dream about gold because you've seen gold. You dream about a mountain because you've seen a mountain. Then in your dream you may see a golden mountain. But that doesn't mean that you are like being told to go find a golden mountain or something like that. But he said, but if you ever dream about Krishna or dream about Guru, that is real. So bear that in mind. In Nandivan, there's a beautiful temple called Ranga Mahal, where Radha and Krishna would go to rest. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that once, when Srimati Radharani was resting there, she had a dream. She woke up with a start and said to Krishna, "Oh, I have to tell you this dream I just saw. You have shown me so many different ways that you appear in this world. But the form that I saw in this dream was very unique and very special. I saw a beautiful golden form, more beautiful than any other of your incarnations. This form was dancing ecstatically on the banks of a river, which looked exactly like the Jamuna, and in a forest which looked exactly like Vrindavan. And I saw all around, there were thousands of people dancing and chanting. It was the form of a Brahmin chanting with his arms raised in the air. This was the form that I saw. He was flooding the whole universe with love for you, dear Krishna. Sometimes this golden-bodied Brahmin was crying out, "Oh, my Lord Krishna, where are you?" And sometimes I heard him crying out, "Oh, my beloved Radharani, where are you?" And when I saw him chanting in this way, I felt that he was you. Can you tell me, who is this beautiful person? Krishna looked into Radharani's eyes, and he took his Kastuba jewel from his chest and held it up and asked for Srimati Radharani to look within the jewel. When she looked within the jewel, she saw the exact same pastime. Radharani said, "Ah, now I can understand that both of us are going to combine as one, and the two of us are going to incarnate in the age of Kali to spread our love throughout the world through congregational chanting of our own holy names." And indeed, around 5,000 years ago, Lord Chaitanya came to deliver us, to give us love for Krishna, to give us the holy names of God. He came not to punish, but to forgive and give us a chance to move ahead in our spiritual life so that we can go back to Him. It was our real resting place. There's a nice story in connection with this not to punish. The idea is that God didn't come back to, not like Kalki later on in the end of the Kali Yuga, who comes back and just cuts everybody's head off. He didn't come back to punish or give pain or make things difficult or kill everybody that was sinful, but rather to give them a way to conquer anger, lust, greed. All the many sins that take us further away from God. My daughter sent me a nice story. My daughter, Rama sent me a nice story that I'd like to relate to you. It seems that there was a German Shepherd dog, a big dog. And this dog was wandering through the forest. And he was hungry, but more than that, he was tired. So, in the late afternoon, he lay down in a clearing in the forest. But he lay there apparently next to nearby a bird's nest. And the mother bird, who had some babies in the nest, was very concerned that this dog might bother or eat her chicks. And so, while the dog was laying there trying to sleep, the bird flew down and started jumping all over the dog. The dog got angry, woke up, got angry, and started flailing at the bird, trying to catch the bird. The bird flew away. The dog goes back to try to sleep, and then the bird comes back again and starts digging her claws into the German Shepherd's back. Chaka, 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 chaka. The German Shepherd's like, rah, 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 get out of here! Rah, 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 rah. Trying to get the bird. The bird flies away again. The dog starts to go to sleep again, but he's got like one eye open. And sure enough, the bird comes back, and the dog gets up. And as the bird runs away, the dog angrily rushes towards the bird and jumps to try to catch the bird. What he didn't realize was that there was like a 10,000-foot cliff right there. And the moral of the story is that actions taken in anger cannot be undone. Once that dog jumped, the bird was fine. He was like, I'm okay, I'm over here flying. But the dog, he's a goner. You take action in anger and you lose every time. Because what you see is not the truth. It seems to be the truth at the time. This is one of the hardest things that I had to learn in my so-called life. People would do something, or I would get, mad at somebody online because they didn't deliver the thing that I ordered, or it was broken or something, and they didn't care. They didn't, I wrote them a letter. You did this, and they don't write back, and I get angrier and angrier. And finally, I write them again. Damn it! You. Sometimes these were my so-called friends that I would get pissed off at. And I would write them a letter, and then the next day, I would see with new eyes. Like, that wasn't really their intent. And I had to give them the benefit of the doubt. And finally, I began to realize that before I sat down to write somebody in anger, I needed to wait a day. Wait a day. Wait for a day. Chant. Meditate on Gauranga. And then, the next day, take a look at it again. This really helped. Really helped. Because so many of my letters were so angry that it took me months to get back to where we were before. I was just like, gosh. I was acting like a crazy person because I was so angry. Just anger, just red, just filled up my consciousness, and I couldn't think of anything else but how this person had wronged me. How dare they? How could they be so ignorant and stupid? Been there? Yeah, we've all been there. We've all been there. It's one of the nice things that I've found since living here in the Philippines. Yeah, there's plenty of things to get angry about here in the Philippines. But more than anything, I treasure being able to associate with devotees like yourselves. Being able to hang out with people that are not perfect, but they're trying. They're trying. They're chanting. They're meditating. They're trying to purify their heart and see God within everyone. And I try to forgive. In that association, I find it very easy to forgive. I'm still a judgmental asshole. I still make judgments against Boy Ying and his program and ask him all kinds of foolish questions. And I still, but associating with devotees has been so helpful. For one thing, they don't take offense at my stupidity. And they realize, well, he's just being stupid and not thinking of Krishna. So this is very helpful. You hang out with people who are also angry, and they just make you more angry. You hang out with people that are very ignorant, or they don't care, then it rubs off on you. You become uncaring. You become ignorant of people and what's in their heart. And this is one of the wonderful things about devotees. Their heart is on their sleeve, and they're not afraid to wear it there. It's one of the nicest aspects of associating with devotees of Krishna. And with that, I'd like to share with you another story. This is from the Chaitanya Bhakti Vilas. Yeah, I believe so. And these concern the childhood pastimes of Lord Nityananda. You're going to love this. At least I hope so. One day, now Nityananda, Lord Nityananda, took his appearance in a very small village called Ekachakra, about 500 some odd years ago. And this is when he was a child. One day, Nityananda Prabhu played Vamana, and another child played Bali Maharaj. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu would deceive him into giving all three worlds in charity, as one of the children, dressed as an old man, played the role of Sukracharya and forbade the gift. Then Nityananda Prabhu, as Vamana, after accepting the alms of Bali, placed his lotus feet upon that boy's head. Now you may not be familiar with the story of Vamana and Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was born in a family of demons, and he conquered all of the known worlds. And Vamana Maharaj was an incarnation of Krishna. And when Bali Maharaj had conquered everything, he said, okay, I've conquered everything, everyone. I own everything. And then Vamana came along and said, you don't own me. And Bali Maharaj said, they got into an argument, and at one point, Bali Maharaj said, okay, I will give you, if I am wrong, I will give you whatever amount of land you want, you can touch with your feet. And so Vamana, I'm not telling this story very well, but Vamana touched the earth, he touched the sky and the other worlds with the second step, and then he had no place to put his third step. Everything had been touched by Vamana. And Vamana said, you said I could have 3 steps, but I now have everything. And Bali Maharaj kneeled before Vamana and said, put your 3rd step upon my head. And this is the pastime that Lord Nityananda is doing. One day, Nityananda Prabhu played at constructing a bridge of trees and stones across the ocean, as all the children played the role of monkey soldiers. In this way, he could chop veranda plants and throw them into the water, pretending they were giant trees, as the children would shout, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Raghunathai, victory to Ram, victory to the Lord of the Raghu dynasty, Raghunath. Now you might be more familiar with this. This is the story of Sri Rama. Rama built a bridge from India to what is now called Ceylon or Sri Lanka, and in order to rescue his wife, who had been kidnapped by Ravan, the 10-headed king of Sri Lanka. The Lord himself, it goes on, assumes the role of Lakshman, and, bow in hand, he made his way to the palace of Sugriva in a fit of anger, saying, you wretched monkey, my Lord Ram is becoming distressed by your actions. My Lord is waiting on Malayavan mountain, burdened with grief. And you, O wicked monkey, the chief of the monkeys, Sugriva, are busy making merry with all these women monkeys. If I am to spare your life, then you must go to Rama as fast as you can and offer him your help. Another day, in the mood of Lakshman, Nityananda would chastise Parasuram in anger, saying, O Brahman, I cannot be held accountable for what happens if you do not flee at once. The children in their innocence would take Nityananda Prabhu's absorption in the mood of Lakshman to be nothing more than childish play. They didn't have any knowledge of his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Some of them would roam about as the 5 monkeys, and taking the role of Lakshman, Nityananda Prabhu would ask, who are you monkeys who roam the forests? Tell me, I am the servant of Raghunath. They would tell him, we wander here in fear of Bali Maharaj. He led us to Ram. Lead us, please, to Ram. We accept the dust of your feet upon our heads. Giving them a hearty embrace, he would lead them to his master and bow down before the feet of Ramchandra, falling flat like a rod in the role of Lakshman. One day, Nityananda Prabhu was beaten by Indrajit. Another day, he would play at killing Indrajit, having made one of the boys to take on the role of Vibhishan. He would lead Vibhishan in the presence of Ram and then install him as the king of Lanka. Vibhishan was the son of Ravan, the king of Lanka, and he was a devotee. Dasaratha, another boy playing Dasaratha, upon hearing of the exile of Ram to the forest, gave up his life. The boy is only acting his part, another said. As soon as Hanuman brings the medicine and administers it to him, he will recover. But of course, Nityananda Prabhu had already explained the story to the children. And he told them, now, as soon as I fall down, all of you make a circle around me and cry, okay? After a short period of time, send away Hanuman to go get the medicine. My life will return when the medicine is applied to my nose. But as soon as the Lord, who was so perfectly playing the role, became unconscious, the children became very upset. They completely lost their judgment, and no one could remember that they were supposed to go and send Hanuman for the medicine. They didn't remember Nityananda Prabhu's instructions. They simply cried and called out, "Oh, brother Nityananda, get up!" But the bystanders' remarks made them remember the Lord's advice. So, one of the children, playing the role of Hanuman, walked off, and another child, dressed as a sage, stood in his way. Greeting him with an offer of fruits and roots, the sage said, "Please stay with me for a while, dear friend, and bless my humble retreat. Only by great good fortune can I attain the company of one like yourself." Hanuman then replied, the child playing Hanuman, "My work is urgent. I must make haste. You cannot stop. Please excuse me, but I must say goodbye. You must have heard of Lakshman, the younger brother of Ram. Ravan has struck him unconscious with his Shakti arrow. I must hurry to Gantamadana mountain. His life can only be saved if I bring back the proper medicine." And the child who played the role of Hanuman spoke all these lines just as he was trained by Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Everyone looked on with amazement. At the request of the sage, Hanuman went to a nearby lake to bathe. Another child caught hold of his feet from under the water, and in this way, the child took part of a crocodile and pulled Hanuman into the water. The child actor playing Hanuman dragged the crocodile back to the bank, and he defeats him. Then Hanuman encountered even more formidable a foe, a child disguised